All right, good evening, everyone. Both Anne and I are so excited to be here and to be celebrating with all of you and supporting Boys and Girls Club of the Peninsula, and looking forward to hearing from all of these amazing youths of the year. And both of us have been judges. I was last year, Anne was 2 years ago. And really, we're so impressed with the Youth of the Year. We wanted to tell you a little bit about what it was like meeting these incredible young people.
So I would, like Susan said, I was here 2 years ago, and had a huge impact on me. I don't know how many of you have been here before, actually, or how many are there some of the recent winners or recent contestants up here anymore? It made a huge impact on me, and so much so that I actually brought my kids this year. And there was one person in particular, Olivia Luna. Again, I don't know if Olivia might. Oh, she's studying abroad in Rome. So here's this woman. She's clearly doing well. She's figured something out. So here's this woman who, you meet a ton of everybody who's up here speaking. And here's this woman. She has cerebral palsy. She talks about how she's passionate about soccer. She wants to be she is a soccer player. She wants to be a soccer coach. And all I can think about is this woman is the definition of resilience. Of all the things that these people go and they tell us their stories, you symbolize what it is like to overcome and to be resilient and to look forward. The fact that she's now abroad and traveling, defined, overcame everything that she went through, and has proven that she is actually the definition in my mind of resilience.
So last year when I was a judge, we have the opportunity to meet with these, I think it was 5 young people, and I met one, and they were telling me their story, and I thought, wow, what an incredible person. Then I met next one, wow, also really incredible story. And I kept thinking, these people are so great. I want to hire them. They are, because, usually when I'm interviewing people, it's for jobs. And so I came back in the end, I'm like, these people have so much talent. And so at the end, I actually did. We offered an internship to 5 boys and girls students of the Peninsula. And they worked at YouTube for I think it was a 5-week internship. And we were so pleased to have them. They worked in a number of partner and support operations, and I talked to them about their projects, and they were doing so much great work. So we are really pleased to do that again this year, and welcome 5 more students.
I feel like I'm going to have to fight you for some internships. We want some too.
Yes, actually, this is an offer I'm sure available to all of you in the room. If you would like to have more interns from the Boys and Girls Club at the Peninsula, I'm sure that could be arranged, and for Anne too.
Yes.
So Anne and I can have a competition. Yeah. Who can hire more students from here?
Take a bet on who actually who can win, who can attract more people to their company. So we just wanted to give a couple anecdotes. We're lucky, as it was mentioned, we grew up in this area, and we were lucky to grow up here. And I think we're also really lucky to have such supportive parents. And so our mom, Esther, is actually one of the judges tonight. And so Susan and I our mother is very special. Just as a note, she was in the back of the room looking at Kevin Durant saying, so do you play basketball? But it's really good, because it would have been more traditional of our family if she was like, are you a baseball player? Because we're not always good at knowing what sport is what sport. So something about us. But that actually dovetails with what I was going to say. One of the nuggets that my parents always left us with is my parents encouraged us to always try lots of things. And we were lucky. I had the opportunity to, try lots of sports and lots of activities. When I graduated college, even, I didn't have a job, and they encouraged me, just try lots of things. And I discovered that, there's some things I'm good at and some things I'm not good at. And what I've kind of concluded is that everyone's great at something. I happen to have found a role. I'm really lucky. I found a role that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about healthcare. I love what I do. Susan's really lucky. She loves what she does. But I was joking that there was, Susan had to perform last year at a YouTube concert doing the whip nay nay. And let me tell you something. Wojcickis should not be doing the whip nay nay. She was in the kitchen, and her kids and I kept saying, we're like, oh yeah, that's really good job, Mom. So any case, everyone is good at something. And it was one of the things I also want to encourage all of the people at Boys and Girls Club. Like, it's so important to try and to fail. And to try and to fail and figure out what you're passionate about, because everyone is great at something. You just don't know what it is. And I routinely have people in my company where they start in one department and they're not doing well. And then I move them to a different team and they flourish. And so I look at myself, like there's jobs I've been in where I really didn't flourish. And now I love what I do and I think I'm okay at it. So I think it's just one of the things I wanted to leave with you is that you are all great at something. And don't be afraid of trying and failing, because it takes a while sometimes to know exactly what you're great at, but you just have to go and like try and fail and figure it out.
All right.
We should see Susan do the whip nay nay.
All right. Okay. I'm not good at whip nay nay, but it's okay. I'm going to talk about my mom for a minute, who's here in the back. And just really, really quickly. So my mom is taught me a really valuable lesson, which is not to let people tell you that you cannot achieve something. My mom has overcome many, many challenges of her own. And, I think if I look at my life, there are many naysayers out there. There just are. I don't know why people have to be that way, but there are many people. And things that people have said to me, for example, is like when YouTube first got started, this company is never going to fail. I mean, it's going to fail. It's never going to be successful. It's going to be driven into the ground. It's going to go out of business. And I really believed in it. And here we are 12 years later. It's continuing to grow. And, we're investing in so many ways. And that's just an example from my professional life. And then from my personal life, I know before I had kids, everyone would always tell me, it's like really hard to have kids and have a job. Well, I succeeded to have 5 kids.
She's good at having kids.
Yes, I turned out to be good at having kids. Thank you, Anne. And since Anne just embarrassed me, I'm going to embarrass her just on the spot. Anne tried to have like a big federal government tell her that she couldn't do something, just so you know. And in good traditional Wojcicki fashion, she stepped up and 23andMe seems to be doing pretty well.
It's one of the things actually I tell my new hires. I said, one of the things I learned from my mom is that rules change over time. And so, just because something's a law today doesn't mean it's, meant to be a law long term. And so my mom always had this idea, you do what's the right thing, but, it was kind of regardless of whether or not, the law was there. And so she's, and I point out to people, gay marriage was illegal when we started our company, and look at it now. So if you can't see that vision for how things can change, you can't imagine. So
yeah, so I wanted to encourage all of you, all the young people here, that you can achieve whatever you set out for, and not to let anyone tell you that you can't. And that brings me to all the amazing people who at the Boys and Girls Club who support all of these young people. And if you look at national numbers and you look at statistics, you see that a lot of times you have communities that don't always have the same resources with not graduate at the national average, or graduate much further below those numbers. And if you look here, we see that the graduates of the Boys and Girls Club of the Peninsula, over 90% are graduating with post-secondary plans in education, which is an amazing stat. And on top of that, they don't turn anyone away. So everybody has access. Everyone has access to coming here to the Boys and Girls Club of the Peninsula. And that's why we were so excited to come here, why we want to support the club, the clubhouse, be part of it, and thank all of you for coming out tonight. And we're looking forward to having a really wonderful evening. And so thank you, everybody.
Thank you.